Hi, I'm Kite Girl Annabelle Drum, and I'm so pleased you're here. Now, we often talk about law of attraction on the Kite Girl Coach blog as well as here on the YouTube channel, but not often do we speak to someone who's been as successful with the money as today's guest. Jaden Sterling is a modern-day alchemist and is internationally recognized for his speaking and coaching on wealth mastery and the law of attraction. During his career in corporate America, he achieved a ranking of the top 1% in US income earners by the tender age of 26. Jaden retired from corporate America 5 years later with a mission of helping others pursue their own goals and dreams and teaching the proven principles of success he used to achieve his goals. Jaden has recently launched the international best-selling book, The Alchemy of True Success, and we talked to him today from his home in the resort town of Invermere in Canada. Here's what he said. Hey Jaden, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Annabelle. How are you?
Very good, thank you very much. We want to talk about your book today that you've just had released. Now, I've read through it, and I have to say that one thing that really stood out for me on this book is that most people that are teaching law of attraction are coming from learning all about the spirituality side of it, and then they put it into action afterwards. Whereas for you, because money seems to be the thing that's on most people's minds, you've already achieved that, and then you moved into the spirituality side of things. So that's really unique to me. I wondered if you could tell me a little bit more about that journey.
Sure, I'd be happy to. When I was in my early 20s, I worked on really programming my subconscious mind with positive statements and positive stories of very successful people.
Now,
because
how did you get the idea to do that?
It was my nature. I felt deep inside that, wow, there are people out there who are really making a difference in the world, and how are they doing it? So I kind of became this master researcher into success and what it takes to become successful. And what I found out was that there are very specific steps that successful people take. And I thought, well, if that's the case, let me try to do this in my life and just see what happens. So for me, it was a big old experiment. I was in my early 20s, and I thought, I know that the first key to having an abundant life is being of service to others. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, let me implement that in my own life. And at the time, I was a financial advisor with Merrill Lynch. Mm-hmm. And I thought, yeah, I can help enough other people get what they want. So let me give it a shot. And that's exactly what I did. I managed portfolios for some very wealthy and influential people in the United States. Mm-hmm. And by doing that and giving them confidence with their investments and a comfort level, they referred all kinds of people to me. So my business grew really quickly, and it grew really fast.
Right.
So I found myself, like age 26 in the top 1% income earners in the United States.
Right. Fantastic.
And it was profound. Yeah, thank you. And it was awesome. It was a great experience. I got to step into the role of a voracious consumer, and I bought sports cars and homes on the water and, did all this crazy traveling all over Europe. Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Annabelle, which is why I wrote my book, is that I was not happy. I didn't know who I was at my very core. And I knew I had to figure life out. And that's what the spiritual piece did for me.
Fantastic. Like I said, I find that a very unique story, that there are people out there that have done extremely well financially and are finding there's just a big hole in their life. So I think that answers it really well within this book. Now, you had a really good chapter in there about letting go, and that's something I've been learning a lot about recently too. Do you want to expand on that?
I would be happy to. What I learned in my life was, we can have all these desires and all of the things that we want, but until we're really ready to just release attachment, and that's what I mean by letting go. Mm-hmm. It's when you're able to slip into the energy of trusting and faith that allows you to let go, and then you have no attachment to the outcome. And that frees you up energetically for the universe to step in and say, hey, I got this. Let me take care of this for you.
Right.
And that's why I dedicated an entire chapter to this subject, because it's so significant in terms of helping people, right, to have what they want.
Yeah, and I find there's so many people out there that have become workaholics.
Yeah.
I'm a brilliant example of that too. I have tried so hard all my life, being top of the class and all the rest, only because I'm fighting to do that. And it's just completely the wrong way round, that you don't need to fight to make things happen, that you can let go and make it happen. Well, let the universe do it for you.
Absolutely. My brother used to tell a very funny story. You know, every time he was a realtor, and every time he went out to play golf, he sold a house. He was on the golf course just having a good old time, but that's when his listing sold, because he wasn't thinking about work. He was just relaxing into a nice, enjoyable game. So really absolutely, he was in the flow. Yeah. Absolutely.
What better way to work?
Exactly.
Sounds good. And you also had a really good thing in there about personal responsibility too. Though I did want to ask you one thing about that as, even for me, on my personal journey, that in taking responsibility for everything that's happening in my life, law of attraction wise, I often end up finding that I'm blaming myself for everything, and I beat myself up a lot. So what's your advice for that?
That's a good point. And that's easy to do. It's sort of a double-edged sword. When we take responsibility, right? Then we say, okay, we are responsible for everything, but that's really not the case. The reality is life is unfolding just the way it needs to. And there's a universal timing for everything to happen in our life. You know, as much as we want everything right now, the reality is there's another side to our having what we want. You know, if we're looking for that perfect spouse or that perfect mate, well, they need to prepare themselves too in order to come to us, right? It's the timing of it. And business opportunities are the exact same thing. They're getting prepared for us to meet. So the reality is, if you're in the blame game and beating yourself up, you're really doing yourself a huge disservice. So try to, just know that everything is unfolding at the exact time that it needs to, and just love yourself. You know, the energy of love is so powerful, and it really does start within us. If we can learn to truly love everything about ourselves and to forgive ourselves, that's huge too. There's a major power in forgiveness. Yes.
You're right. So there is so much good information in this book. Who do you think is going to be the most suitable people to read this book?
Well, I think someone like yourself, who is an entrepreneur doing, working in their own business, or a business owner who is wanting to add a little more depth to their being, being a little more spiritual, maybe working with the law of attraction, but not really sure how to put all the pieces together. I think that would be that person that would be ideal for the book.
Awesome. That's great. And before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to add to that?
I want to add one thing, Annabelle, and that is I'd really like for people to understand that they're capable of so much more than they've ever been led to believe.
Yeah.
And right. And really, I mean, it's the truth that, people don't want to tell us how powerful we are. They always want to tell us how, maybe how we can't get something done or accomplish our goals. And that's not the case. I would say to your viewing audience is, just go for it in life. You have this one trip around in this physical body that you chose, and it's to make all of your dreams come true, because it's completely accessible to everyone.
Fantastic. Great advice, Jaden. Thank you so much. That's really good.
My pleasure.
And for everybody there, I'm going to put the links down below, and you can grab the book. Have you got the book there you can show us?
I do, Annabelle. It's right here.
Wave it in the air.
Can you, see it?
Look at that.
See the
so
cover
you guys
there,
can be an alchemist for success as well. Yeah.
They can. In fact, if they go to the website, www.truesuccessbook.com, we have 26 beautiful people who donated wonderful gifts for free, they're valued over $1,000. So they just go to Amazon, They input their order number into the page, and then they get instant access to 26 valuable gifts.
Wow, that's superb. And that'll just be for a limited time. And I suggest you jump online today and see if you can get those fantastic extra offers. Thank you very much for your time today, Jaden.
My pleasure, Annabelle. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.